Welcome to the Creativity and Consciousness podcast, a journey into the intersection of creativity, spirituality, and personal growth. I'm your host, Jake Cobrin. I'm a visionary artist, author, and consciousness explorer. Each episode, we dive deep into the worlds of art, psychology, meditation, mind expansion, and alternative spiritual practices. My goal is to help empower you to unlock your creative potential and expand your consciousness. Join me as I engage in conversations with thought leaders across creativity, consciousness research, and self-development, as well as regular solo-cast episodes. We'll navigate topics as diverse as visionary art, psychology, personal growth, shamanism, psychedelics, ceremonial magic, witchcraft, and occult philosophy. Whether you're an artist seeking inspiration, a spiritual seeker exploring new paths, or someone on a journey of self-actualization, this podcast is designed to guide you toward greater mental clarity, personal power, and a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. Tune in and join me as we explore the transformative potential of creative expression and spiritual practice. Together, we'll embark on a grounded yet expansive exploration of magic, spirituality, creativity, and consciousness, in a voice that aims to speak directly to the needs of today's world. Welcome to the Creativity and Consciousness podcast. Welcome, everybody. So technically, this is the first official podcast I've recorded under the name The Creativity and Consciousness Podcast, and I hope you like it. It's a solo cast talking about and relating some of my perspectives on magic and creativity and transformation to a mythic metaphor of the dreaming. And I hope that it's at least entertaining and perhaps inspiring or insightful for you. And at the very least, it gets you to start thinking about things. And I'm probably not going to release such a long podcast episode every week, but I am going to try to release a podcast every week, even if it's only a 5 or 10 minute short recording or more fly on the wall chats like the one I shared last week with Lux, which was a fun experience and experiment to create. And I'm grateful to have my computer back and working so I can use my fancy schmancy microphone for recording this for you. And I hope you enjoy. And always I'm just pleased and amazed and honored that of all the things that could take your attention in the vast and endless halls of the internet, you're here listening to me. And I really do take your attention and listenership with great respect and try to provide something of value for you and try to create high quality content that I myself would enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode. This life is a dream, and we may call it the dreaming. We can become immersed in this dream of life, unable to recognize all the other options available to us. The dreamer is shameless, and it operates on a deeply subconscious level. It ensnares us in its trances and compels us to obey. Whatever we dream ourselves to be, whatever we are programmed to believe we should be, we will be. This trance of dreaming is as natural to human life as water is to fishes. But we do have the capacity to change the dream. This requires us to wake up out of the dream, to wake up out of the trance, which is a very difficult thing to do. Most people never awaken from their trances. It takes a level of awareness that exceptionally few people ever reach. But if we wake up, then a new reality is revealed. The truth of awareness, giving us a limitless range of alternate possibilities. Just as lucid dreaming can show us how to take control in a dream world, we too can take hold of our lives and choose our own paths, instead of submitting ourselves to what fate has in store. Lucid dreaming is a symbol of this awakening, offering true liberation. Every night we dream, and while we are dreaming, we are invested in that dream. Every person in the dream is as real to us as any person we would meet or interact with in the waking state. Every person you met seemed to have their own thoughts, their own emotions, and their own will. Maybe you had deep conversations, felt profound emotions, or even faced conflicts with these dream characters. Then suddenly, you wake up and realize that every single one of those people was a creation of your own mind. This is so normal for us and such common sense that it doesn't startle us. But if you think about the dream amnesia and what it implies, it's a startling revelation. Within the realm of your dreams, you are both the creator and the experiencer. What if I told you that this dream amnesia isn't just a fault of our sleeping minds, but a fundamental aspect of reality itself? That life as we know it is a grand dream, and God is the dreamer. You, me, everyone, and everything. We are all facets of this infinite, divine dreaming. God is the dreamer. Our lives are built on dreams, and the life we behold we may call the dreaming. Our lives are woven from the threads of our perceptions, our thoughts, and our dreams. Each of us spins our own narrative within the vast and complex unfolding of our lives and existence. Yet so often we become immersed in this dream of life, unable to recognize the many possibilities available to us. We get caught up in the roles and scripts handed to us by society, our upbringing, and our own limiting beliefs. Some of us dream ourselves into wealth or poverty, happiness or despair, confinement or freedom. The dreamer within us operates on a deeply subconscious level, ensnaring us in its trances and compelling us to follow narratives we may not have consciously chosen. Whatever we believe ourselves to be, we become. But here's the thing. we have the power to change the dream. As anyone who has experienced lucid dreaming knows, you can realize in the middle of a dream that you are dreaming. Suddenly, the limitations dissolve. You can fly. You can summon any experience you desire. You can reshape the environment and converse with dream characters on a whole new level of awareness. This is the essence of lucid dreaming. Now, imagine applying this concept to your waking life. By becoming lucid within the dream of life, we gain the ability to shape our reality consciously. This is the essence of magic. Take a moment to examine the life you're living. Are you dreaming the dream you want to be dreaming? Are you living the life you want to be living? On some level, the life you're experiencing is indeed what you desire, even if unconsciously. The subconscious or unconscious mind, the part of the mind you are not yet consciously aware of, the dreamer within, is shameless and without prejudice. It doesn't distinguish between pleasure and pain, or success and failure. It sees suffering, challenge, and difficulty and whispers, "How dramatic, how engaging." The dreamer loves a good story, and every compelling story involves conflict. When we become lucid dreamers of our own lives, we gain the ability to rise above suffering and choose whether that's what we truly want. Perhaps deep down, you cling to certain patterns because they feel familiar. Maybe you sabotage your own success because you fear the unknown that comes with change. Understanding these hidden desires is the first step towards transformation. Whatever it is, on some level, you are choosing it. And it's essential to examine these choices with full awareness and without shame. Often we stick with our current dream because it's comfortable and familiar. The subconscious mind prefers the known, even if it's painful, over the unknown. But whenever you're ready to dream a different dream, you can. All it takes is a moment of awareness and a genuine decision to change. This is where practices like meditation, introspection, and mindfulness, and the more robust practices of magic, such as ritual, trance, and dream work, come into play. By cultivating a deeper awareness of our thoughts and feelings, we begin to uncover the subconscious narratives driving our lives. Think of the dreamer within you as a movie director who already knows the script of your life. It knows every action you will take and every consequence and emotional twist. But you have the power to step into the role of the director consciously. You can rewrite the script, alter the narrative, and craft the story you truly desire to experience. You can be set free by having the awareness that this life is a temporary and fleeting dream, that we will all eventually return home to the warm embrace of eternity, which we never actually left. So there's nothing to lose and nothing to fear. We like to suffer because life without challenges becomes monotonous. We like the drama. The dreamer thrives on engagement and may unconsciously steer you back into tension and conflict if the story lacks excitement. In our favorite books and movies, it's the challenges and obstacles that make the journey worthwhile. Perhaps on a subconscious level, we invite certain struggles into our lives to add depth and richness to our personal narratives. You always get exactly what you want in your deepest, innermost heart. The challenge lies in uncovering what that truly is. Our subconscious desires often contradict our conscious ones. You might think you want success, but deep down you fear the responsibilities that come with it. You might say you want love, but perhaps you fear vulnerability. Understanding these true desires is the hard part. Achieving them becomes easier once they're known. On a deeper level, and this is a subject for another podcast, it's about understanding and aligning with our true will so that we are in harmony with the greater unfolding of life's transpersonal narrative rather than imposing our small egoic desires on the world and then being laughed at by the gods. In her book, Existential Kink, Dr. Carolyn Elliott, now known as Dr. Carolyn Lovewell, who I'm grateful for writing the foreword to my upcoming book, The Path Within, explores how our subconscious mind craves experiences without restraint. She suggests that by embracing and even celebrating the parts of ourselves that desire these challenging experiences, we can integrate them and move beyond self-sabotage. And if you haven't read it, Existential Kink is a truly life-changing book, and I highly recommend it. The great artist Austin Osman Spare wrote, in quite dated English, "O ye who are living other people's lives, unless desire is subconscious, it is not fulfilled, no, not in this life. Then verily sleep is better than prayer." And truer words have never been spoken. If we want to change our dream, we have to change our minds and the covert narratives unfolding from our subconscious minds at a very, very deep level. We must become the architects of our consciousness. Sigil magick, which is a practice that Austin Spare pioneered, is one way to do this. It aims to bypass the conscious mind and to plant a psychic seed at a very deep and subconscious level. A sigil is a symbol intentionally created to reflect a desired change in your reality, recognized only by your subconscious mind. When charged and imprinted into the psyche during a state of altered consciousness, such as deep meditation or heightened emotional states, or commonly orgasm, it can bring about real change in your life. I have a free video course on sigil magick on YouTube, and I put a link to it in the show notes if you want to learn more about how to do this practice. By tapping into methods that address the subconscious, like sigil magick, meditation, or other ritualistic practices, we can rewrite deeply held narratives. Throughout history, symbols and rituals have been acknowledged as powerful tools to access and condition the unconscious mind. Ancient cultures understood the power of ceremony and symbolism in shaping both individual and collective realities. These practices serve as bridges between the conscious and subconscious minds, allowing us to plant seeds of intention and desire. In some ancient traditions, as well as in some continuously existing indigenous cultures, profound experiences like a young person's first encounter with altered states of consciousness through drugs, plant medicines, and ceremony and ritual were guided within sacred contexts to imprint certain beliefs and values deeply into the psyche, and those rituals and ceremonies and sacred contexts always came along with very specific sacred symbols, and those symbols operate as a kind of programming language, a kind of mythical language that this now initiated young person can relate to the world through. While modern society often lacks such intentional rites of passage, we can still create our own rituals to harness this power. By using these tools, we become active participants in shaping our reality rather than passive observers of fate. We step into our roles as co-creators and co-dreamers in the grand dream of life. As we awaken to our power as lucid dreamers and agents of change, we must also embrace the responsibility that comes with it. Freedom allows us to create our own vision of the world, but our actions carry consequences, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. We are interconnected with everything in this world and on this planet, and the effects of our actions ripple outward. To cultivate joy and contentment for ourselves and others, we should be guided by love and empathy. We need to recognize that each of us is unique. Our perceptions of the world are filtered through our individual nervous systems, shaped by our experiences, biases, and beliefs. Language itself is symbolic and subjective. Words carry different meanings for each person. Understanding this should foster a generous attitude of respect for differing perspectives. No one's perspective is absolutely true, but each is valid to the person themselves. This could be due to the limitations of language and perception. Even when I say the word love and assume you understand it, I cannot be sure. Your interpretation may differ vastly from mine, influenced by your personal experiences and emotions. As one of my favorite psychedelic luminaries, Robert Anton Wilson, said, "I don't know what anything is. I only know how it seems to me at this moment." We are all different. This sounds trite and obvious, but it bears repetition and emphasis, as it is the crux of so much of the conflict of our shared world. We all live in different realities. No two nervous systems are alike, and the perception of our world through these different symbol systems that we use to interpret it varies drastically from person to person. Even though we might use agreeable symbol systems, every single person perceives the universe in a fundamentally different way. Learning to accept this neurological relativism is essential to compassion and understanding our lives. It is paramount to realize this. Ancient philosophies teach us that the only certainty is the flow of sensation, the continuous experience of being. Any definitive claims about the self or the world are limited by our subjective interpretations. As William Blake said, everything that can be believed is an image of truth. Perhaps everything we take as fact is a form of self-hypnosis, a construct of our own making, greatly influenced by the programming that we've received throughout our lives in the forms of our families, cultures, educations, societies, and the people around us. And, of course, more and more, the internet, this great shimmering beast that has us in its grasp. We're in it right now, and it's bending your mind with these words. For years, I've explored altered states of consciousness through various practices, meditation, rituals, extended solitude, psychedelics, and breathwork. Every time I have shifted my perception, a different version of me emerges, granting access to new states of awareness and reshaping my external reality, or at least how I interact with it. I have observed that when I adjust my perception of reality, reality adjusts alongside me. This has led me to conclude that each person lives their own unique universe, molded by the characteristics of their individual perception. This realization challenges systems that assume stable regulations and moral judgments, governments, religions, and social norms. It suggests that every person has an inherent right to create their own beliefs and points of view, free from outside influence. By breaking free from the confines of man-made laws and conventions, we gain the sovereign power to control our own destiny. We can learn from our mistakes, build a life aligned with our values and ideals, and establish our own personal truth without interference. Embracing this knowledge requires us to accept ethical and behavioral responsibility. Everybody should have the right to live their own way, choose for themselves what to think, do, and say without undue interference. Each individual is a star in their own right, the sun of their own world and universe, and no one else can claim superiority over another. We have the right to eat and drink what we want, live where we want, think and express ourselves freely, and love whom we choose. However, with this freedom comes the need to act with awareness of our interconnectedness. Our actions impact not only ourselves, but also the world and others around us. If we desire beneficial and positive experiences, we must strive to choose actions that bring benefit to others as well. This isn't a rule set in stone, but practical wisdom born from understanding our shared existence. We are all threads in the same fabric, parts of the same dreaming, all cells in the body of God. And remember, God is the dreamer. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your own actions, and no one else can dictate what you should do. By becoming lucid in the dream of life, we reclaim our power to shape our reality, to live authentically, and to contribute positively to the unfolding narrative and experiment that is existence. You have already begun this journey toward lucidity. It starts with awareness, observing our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. It also involves practical steps that help us tap into our subconscious and bring about meaningful change. One powerful tool is meditation. By sitting in stillness, we can observe the flow of our inner world and begin to notice patterns and narratives that we may have been unaware of. Meditation cultivates mindfulness and helps us become aware of subconscious patterns influencing our lives. Let's start now. Join me and let's take a moment together to engage in a brief mindfulness exercise. If you're driving, do not close your eyes to do this. If you're on a walk, personally, I love listening to podcasts on walks. You can disregard the sitting part of the instructions and still use the guidance to bring deeper presence and awareness to your walking. But if you can, turn off your phone for a second. That's right, put down the phone and find a comfortable position, whether you're sitting or standing, with your spine straight but relaxed. If it's safe and comfortable for you, gently close your eyes. Begin by bringing attention to your breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations without trying to change or control it. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils and the warm air flowing out. I find there's often two parts of my body that are higher in sensations that help me be more aware while I'm meditating. One is the feeling of my belly rising and falling as my lungs and diaphragm fill with air as I breathe. The other is that there is usually a tickling sensation at the very front of my nostrils as I inhale and exhale. I tend to focus more on the sensations of my nostrils as they feel a bit more subtle, which sharpens my awareness. The air tends to be a little bit cooler when I'm inhaling and warmer as I'm exhaling. You can also note whether you are inhaling through your left nostril or your right nostril, or both, or if your nose is clogged through your mouth. Wherever you feel the sensations of breath is fine. Just try and gently hold your attention there for a moment. As you continue to breathe naturally, shift your awareness to your body, starting from the top of your head. Slowly scan down through your body. Notice any sensations you might be feeling. Any sensations, nothing special. If you feel the breeze against your cheek, that's sensation. If you feel your butt against the chair, that's sensation. There might also be areas of warmth or coolness, tension or ease. Simply observe these sensations without judgment. Now focus your attention on your hands. See if you can experiment with feeling your hands from the inside out, like you're not trying to feel the skin on your hands, but rather the center of your hands themselves. Notice any tingling or subtle pulsing, the gentle life force that moves within you. Feel this energy flowing through your fingers and palms. This tingling sensation is your life force and will increase in intensity by doing certain practices such as qigong or the energy practices in ceremonial magic such as the middle pillar exercise, or by practicing Reiki healing. Even if you can't feel it right now, and that's fine, imagine this tingling sensation extending throughout your entire body, connecting every part of you in a warm, vibrant network of energy. Stay with this moment for a few more breaths, allowing yourself to be fully present. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to your surroundings. Open your eyes if they were closed. And that was it. That was a tiny little taste of meditation. There is thousands of years of empirical research into the benefits of meditation. but doing that practice over even a short amount of time, like 15 or 20 minutes each day, can revolutionize your experience of life. Another effective practice is journaling. I do Julia Cameron's morning pages practice from The Artist's Way, 3 pages of stream of consciousness journaling, written by hand every single morning. It's a way to begin to get real with yourself and contact and receive messages from your subconscious. Writing down our thoughts and experiences can reveal hidden beliefs and desires. It allows us to ask ourselves probing questions like, what do I truly want? What fears might be holding me back? And am I living in alignment with my deepest values? Through journaling, we gain clarity and insight into our inner selves. Engaging in creative expression, be it drawing or painting, writing, music, or dance, also taps into the subconscious. These forms of expression bypass the rational mind and allow deeper parts of ourselves to surface. Through creativity, we communicate with the dreamer within, unlocking insights that might otherwise remain hidden. Rituals and ceremonies, whether traditional or self-created, can mark transitions and set intentions. I see rituals as an act of declaration to ourselves, and we are all ritualistic to some degree. It's a very fundamental part of being human. Think about, for example, the ritual of wishing on a candle on your birthday. But there are a million different forms of ritual that you could do. Lighting a candle to symbolize a new beginning, creating a vision board, or setting aside time each day for reflection can be powerful acts that reinforce our commitment to change. Lately, I've been using Notion and other software as digital tools for mapping out meaningful changes in my life and tracking progress. These ritualistic gestures help us stay focused on our journey toward lucidity and creativity. And, of course, if you are interested in learning more about deeper forms of ritual practice, you can pre-order my book, The Path Within, which is a deep dive guide into the practices of ritual magic. Remember, this is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Just as we don't achieve physical fitness by going to the gym once, we cultivate lucidity through regular practice and mindfulness. Be patient with yourself. Change takes time, and there will be setbacks, but each moment of awareness brings you closer to living the life you truly desire. God is the dreamer, and we are facets of that divine dream. By embracing this idea, we tap into a profound sense of connection and purpose. We are not isolated beings adrift in an indifferent universe. We are integral parts of a living, breathing cosmos. Our thoughts, actions, and intentions matter. They shape not only our own experiences, but contribute to the collective dream we all share. Ultimately, the journey toward lucidity is a deeply personal one. No one else can walk your path for you, but you are not alone. Others have walked similar paths and can offer guidance and support. Seek out communities and individuals who resonate with your aspirations. Share your experiences and learn from theirs. And make sure to follow for further podcast episodes and to subscribe to my newsletter if you're interested in hearing more episodes such as these in the future. As you walk forward in life, keep in mind the wisdom of the Hermetic teachings, which is really where the foundation of these concepts come from. As above, so below, as within, so without. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. By transforming ourselves, we contribute to the transformation of the world. If you are listening to this podcast, you have been chosen. You have been chosen, and you are ready to become the lucid dreamer of your own life. Embrace the idea that you are both the dream itself and the dreamer, a unique expression within the infinite imagination of God, which I've used that word throughout this podcast, and it's one that there are profound misconceptions about, but I basically mean the word God to speak to the infinite manifestation of, as well as the source of, and the destination of all of existence. And if you're not comfortable with that word, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast. You must have found it by mistake. Anyways, awaken to your power to shape your reality, to choose your own path, and to live a life that is authentic and fulfilling. Remember, God is the dreamer, and you are a cherished part of that divine dream. As the late, great Terence McKenna said, you are a divine being. You matter. You count. You come from realms of unimaginable power and light, and you will return to those realms. Feel those words within you. Embrace the truth that you are not a mere bystander in this dream, but an integral part of the universe's unfolding narrative. The same boundlessness, the same creativity and profound intelligence that orchestrate the galaxies also flows through you. You carry within you the spark of the divine, the ability to shape reality, and the power to dream new worlds into existence. Consider your infinite potential. If you come from realms of unimaginable power and light, What limitations are there to truly bind you? Perhaps the only constraints are those you accept or imagine or impose upon yourself. The dreamer within you yearns to explore, to create, to experience all facets of existence, from the depth of sorrow to the heights of joy. Every challenge and every triumph and every moment that is dull or just meh is an invitation to awaken further within the dream. So, what will you dream next? Will you continue along paths laid out by others, or will you be one of the brave few to venture into uncharted territories of your own making? Will you accept the narratives handed to you, or will you craft your own story, one that is rich with meaning and purpose? The choice is yours. You have the power to awaken within the dream, to become lucid in your own life. By embracing your inherent divinity, you open the door to infinite possibilities. You can heal old wounds, break free from limiting beliefs, and step into a reality that aligns with your deepest desires. Remember that every thought, intention, and action ripples outward, influencing the whole of existence. By elevating your own consciousness, you contribute to the awakening of others. Together, we can co-create a world infused with compassion, creativity, exploration, freedom, and understanding. In the end, we are both the dreamers and the dreamed, the creators and the created. Awaken to your power. Embrace your role as a creator, as a lucid dreamer in the dreaming. Dare to imagine realities that defy ordinary expectations. And as you navigate the landscapes of your inner and outer worlds, carry with you the wisdom that you are a divine being of unimaginable power and light. What will you dream next? Thanks for listening to this episode of the Creativity and Consciousness podcast. My name is Jake Cobran. Sweet dreams.